Hi everyone. I hope the music's not too loud. I don't know why. Maybe turn it down. I figured out why. So for the last maybe like month, I've been having this issue where my streams, like I start my stream and then immediately it stops. And with OBS, when you start and then stop a stream, it's no longer available for you to get back into that stream. Like it's just done, like it's over. So it's a huge pain in the butt. I waste like 5 minutes every time. It was my old mouse, so I was using this weird, just cheap, whatever, Logitech USB mouse, and it was double clicking every time that I clicked, left click. So it must have been starting the stream and then immediately ending the stream. So that's annoying. I'll have to buy another cheap. I have a weird HP one I'm just using for now. I'll have to buy another cheap mouse. Oh my god, that's so annoying because it would happen every single time, and I'm just getting mad. Okay, hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing all right. Hey Belma. Hey Bonzo. Glad you can make it, Bonzo. I know this is kind of last minute, but that's right. We full send it here. Might have a couple of questions, but we'll get there in a couple of minutes. Yeah, I don't really think I have anything cool to share. Let me think about that. I guess I will share that our prayers have been answered. Sort of. We'll have to see still, but let's see. 8-bit dough. So we have 2 new products from 8-bit dough. This is not really part of the stream, but I thought it was pretty cool. We have the first product, which is not Blue Retro, but it's 8-bit dough's own Bluetooth receiver for the GameCube. So this is different. The only other thing that they've had so far for the GameCube was the G-Bros adapter. So now they're going to have their own Bluetooth connector, so you can hook up. I feel like I had to be here with the OSCR stream. I've got some work to do, so I'll have this. Okay, that's fine. It'll be a little bit. I think I kind of know. I checked out the wiki, and I kind of know sort of where to go. But I also don't think I have the most. I don't have the most up-to-date version, so I just want to make sure that I'm telling the people that might be buying new kits like all the info that they may or may not have to do if they get a new kit. Also, 8-bit dough couldn't be bothered to get a not super gross yellowed GameCube. All right, how did they stand up these controllers too? That's pretty interesting. Did they Photoshop them? They Photoshopped the stand out maybe. Anyway, so that's the first announcement, is the GameCube adapter part. But along with that, it only makes sense that they have this pretty much drop-in replacement GameCube wireless PCB. This is pretty much what we've been waiting for, or I've been waiting for a really long time. Now, I've already gotten a bunch of comments, a couple of comments on Twitter when I posted this. I didn't really post about this. You can go to my Twitter about this particular thing. Well, I'll have there's a pre-order for it, but I'll have another stream where I'll kind of go over it. So if you want to wait to pre-order it for me to get mine, I fully intend to use the Mr. Laggy, not the Mr. Laggy, whatever, the Mr. Lag Tester controller thing. I bought a USB GameCube controller adapter, the Mayflash. Unfortunately, I gave away my OEM Nintendo USB GameCube adapter thing. I gave that away, unfortunately, so I don't have the OEM one. But Mayflash is this other company that makes one that apparently is supposed to be really good. So I have, basically what that's going to let me do is with the Mr. Lag Tester thing, I'll be able to compare a wired GameCube controller, an OEM controller, how much latency that has, and standard deviation and things, and then compare that to how much latency this Bluetooth connection end-to-end will have. So through, I also bought the GameCube, the adapter, the controller adapter, but we can also try Blue Retro, because I do have that. Oh shit! I do have this retro scaler, or sorry, Bitfunks, whatever company you want to call it. Blue Retro adapter thing. So I can also test this as well because it's Bluetooth. So I'm excited for that. I've been waiting for a super long time. Oh, hey, Dustin. Hey, JD Silva. Newer kits also have the RTC. So do I not have the RTC? I thought, wasn't there like a daughter board that is in there or something? But maybe it doesn't matter. Part's not a big deal for me. Okay, so it's just time stamping the dump files. Okay. I'm glad the V14 of the OSCR firmware addresses the 5-volt at boot issue. There's some kind of a boot issue. Okay, so we're also going to try to go through as much of the firmware updating stuff. All right, so before I veer off of this, I think the only thing that's needed, so you obviously do need a controller, shell, and the buttons, and for the GameCube, for this Blue Retro controller board, you need the buttons and the membranes and the triggers, and I guess they also use the rumble motors. So I guess you do sort of need a donor controller to put this in, but it looks like you also get, do you get new thumbsticks or no? Maybe you don't get new thumbsticks. Okay, well, anyways, it also seems like it does, well, just from appearances, not really, I haven't really tested this yet because I don't have one yet. It seems like it has analog triggers because someone sent me a screenshot on Twitter before I'm almost done talking about this, so we can move on in a second. Okay. Let's see. It does have the potentiometers on the back of the board. Here's the photo. So it does have the slide potentiometers at the bottom, which is, I think that's the analog part. So it the analog or the L and R buttons for the GameCube controller have two sort of buttons, I guess I should say. When you hold them down, it gives you an analog, like a variable resistor that is like a different button. So some games take advantage of that. But then when you bottom it out, there's another button. So I think both of those buttons are on this board. So I'm excited to test this out. So GameCube controller is like the last sort of one that I really care. Oh no, that's not true. Original Xbox needs one. Like WoW too. I think, oh, then maybe like a PS2. We'll get there. I hope they get there. But GameCube is a big W, so yeah, that's exciting. Okay, so I'm done talking about this for a bit, but that's the exciting thing I wanted to share, that is coming, or that's out, coming soon, I guess. I don't have RTC, but you're not missing out. Okay, cool. I had no idea they announced the retro receiver for the GameCube. Thought it was just the board. Yeah, that's both. I am more excited about the controller board, to be honest, especially with Blue Retro. But it's cool that they also released the adapter thing. V13 would briefly use 5 volts when powered on or reset with the V-Select. Hard to notice if the LED was not used. Oh, okay, interesting. The latest boards I sell have the V-Select and RTC components pre-soldered to the main board. No board like you're using is needed. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe I'll talk about that at the end, or yeah. Soldering tiny SMD components isn't very beginner friendly. Yeah, true. Okay, so I guess let's talk about what I already have. I do have another whole video. I didn't link it in the description, but I probably should. Let me put it in the description while we're here. So let's go Sanni. Yeah, so here's my original video. So let's copy that and let's put it in the description of this video. Let's see. My Sanni cart reader build video. Anyways, if you're interested in buying your own Sanni kit at any point, I do have a link to Bonzo's retro.shop in the description, which is going to be it's an affiliate link, but it helps me out. You don't get, doesn't cost you anything to use that. So if you want to build your own, but I also have the link to the previous video in there. All right, so let's go to the other red cam, and obviously it's not going to work first time. because the stupid cam link is stupid. Hey, hello? Oh yeah, okay, cool. All right, so I got a bunch of stuff here. It's kind of all over the place. Oh, I guess I should have said, before we go into this, I did order another board for another SYF replacement Game Gear board, so that's coming. Shipping, I think, takes a long time because I think it comes from the UK. Anyway, so it probably won't be here for another week or so. I also have stuff to build a Hidman, which is that thing I talked about. So I have the PCBWay box already, or the PCBs. I don't have all the stuff yet. I'm ordering that from LSCS. Is that how you pronounce it? So still waiting on another project. So I'm trying to free up stuff that I have lying around. So that's why we're doing this tonight. But I think I already have one person that said that they were interested in this. So we're gonna bust it out. So here's my original. Well, not necessarily the original. I did get a case from Kaitor. Kaitor has designed the case. This is my original case that I use. This is an older version of it. Kaitor also designed a newer version, which Bonzo sent me. So, but it's still made by Kaitor, and that's actually his logo. So there's actually differences between my original case and the new case. And I don't even know, there might even be a new case. I'm not really sure, but this one uses less screws, the one I'm going to assemble tonight. So there will be differences between my video build and the new case. So LCSC. Okay. Did you print that shell for the band with your... No, this is the one that you printed for me. I would print it again, but I mean, this looks good enough. I think this is probably ABS, not ABS, PLA. It looks fine. So I'm going to use this for a bit. This is the one that you had sent me a while ago. I've been holding on to it for so long. Okay, so we're going to talk about... Really, there's only a couple of things that we're going to do. I think the largest benefit for people... Let me make this go down. There is not a newer case. Okay, that's good. That makes me happy. So on the original, or the older versions, I think I have hardware version 3. You can tell there's different versions of hardware 5. So hardware 5 is the major revision, I suppose, of the OSCR. So if you have hardware 5, that's still in the same ballpark. That's the same major features as the one that I have here. But there are multiple revisions to the PCB. So I have Rev 3. I think we're on Rev 5. Is Rev 5 the latest one, Bonzo? You might know. Oh, it looks like Rev 3 is the latest. Oh no. Sorry, is there Rev? Oh, there is a Rev 5. I don't know what the difference between Rev 3, Rev 4, and Rev 5 are. It sounds like the real-time clock is really the only difference. But I don't know what the difference between 3 and 4. So this is 3. It's matte PLA. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had it. So 5 is the latest. What's the difference between 3, or at least 4 and 5? So anyways, it doesn't really matter. But I've got to take this apart because the changes are going to happen once we kind of remove this whole old case. I believe this kit, this screw bag, also Bonzo, is a new hardware kit. It has heat sets, which I believe is for the bottom part. If you look at the new, I guess we'll talk about it when we get there, but one thing that you'll notice before we even get started is the top case here on the old one has screws that go through it to hold the top down. The newer one, let me hold it the right direction, doesn't have any screws. So this kind of like, it's a friction and there's like little clips in it, like little tabs and things that kind of keep it together. So the newer one goes on with less screws. Oh, I didn't even mention what I was going to mention. Okay, so the major differences in functionality wise, other than the real-time clock, which is I don't have because I don't have a later revision board. But if you get a kit from Bonzo, you'll have the latest board, and it sounds like you won't have to do anything it will be already done for you. So really don't worry about that. Heat press inserts are revision kind were added by my request. They go in the display holder. Oh, okay. Got it. So we're not even there yet. So does that mean that the screws still go through the bottom like the original case, like this? So they're not, the heat sets are not for this. Anyways, I'll before we even start taking it apart, the major change is it's basically a delete for this voltage select feature. I think you can tell. It says 3V/5V when you, depending on which console that you're using, and it actually tells you inside the, let me see if I can boot up. Let me get a cable and boot this thing up. So we're gonna have to do some updating to the firmware. Is this even plugged in? How do you turn this? It's been so long since I've done this. Oh, I/O, Okay. Like for example, Nintendo 64, it says 3 volts. So I think by default, so these consoles are 5 volts, or they use 5 volts, but some of them do use 3 volts. So yeah, no, there's a little bit of flicker. So you would have to, on the older revisions, you would have to manually change this voltage selection depending on the console, which is a little bit of a pain in the butt because you don't really want to think about that when you're just trying to dump a bunch of things. So there's a new feature, basically it removes this switch, and actually there is no slot on the new case. Okay, there's just the on-off switch. There is this, it's called V-Select, and it manifests as this little tiny board here, and I guess it gets soldered in a similar place on the board. So we're gonna open it up and I'll show you all that. But this gives the OSCR capability to automatically change the voltage for you, depending on the console that you choose. So that's really good. Yep, screws still through the bottom. Okay. Top lid snaps on, no screws, but you can add some directly above the board, then snap the cover over. Yeah, okay, so it does still, because it is a 2 PCB. We'll bust it up and I'll show you. All right, so I think everybody understands that that's what the V-Select feature is. Depending on which console, you have to select the right voltage. So the other thing that I don't have, well, at one point I did, but when I got the case, I kind of deleted it because I was too lazy, essentially. What you need to do, so when I had this N64 extension that had this, what is this called? What is the word I'm looking for? Retention, or strain relief is what word I'm looking for, sorry. It has this like strain relief thing over it. Okay, so this looks more like a normal N64 thing. In order for you to use this, because this is for getting dumping memory card, N64 memory cards. If you have an N64 controller, you could dump the memory cards onto the OSCR. You can't use it like this. You can't install it into the case unless you take it apart. So I already did this because I just wasn't sure how hard it was going to be. I just had this really tiny flathead screwdriver, and I basically just kind of, you end up kind of breaking it, at least with this version. Like a real N64 controller is actually a little bit different. The case is a little bit different, so you'll have to look that up. But I mean, usually if you have the kit, you have a different, hey, Obi-Wan. So I basically just took this like really thin flathead and I kind of pried it apart. And it comes apart at these glue seams, and then basically that's pretty much it. You just take the strain relief part out, and you're left with the part that we're going to stick into the case later on. So that's just kind of a side note. I already did that little part. The third and final, I guess, change for me personally is, I think when Bonzo sent me the kit originally, he did not send me these little short guys, these short cables. So mine actually have really long, like, bastard cables. They're like super, and by bastard I mean like annoying, not like, that's not like a nickname for anything. But so I'm gonna replace those with these tiny ones, and that should clean up the inside quite a bit. I think that's really it. The only thing that I can't have, obviously, is real-time clock because I have an older hardware revision, but you won't have to worry about installing that or not, because that will just be, if you buy a newer kit, that will already be on there. Oh, no. Okay. Actually, no, I guess it doesn't really matter. I left my screwdriver downstairs because I was building a computer, but I should just be able to use a different one because these are kind of small screws. So, all right, let's just take. I guess we'll take the click wheel, or the navigation wheel just kind of pops off. It just sort of pops right off the top. So let's take that off, and you obviously need to take your SD card out. I kind of did that without mentioning it. And then from there, I'm imagining you probably don't. If you're probably not going to need to follow me, so either you're building a new kit and you're just curious how the RTC. Actually, you wouldn't have to worry about how the RTC. You guys are just along for the ride tonight. I need to get a little bit bigger screwdriver. You guys are just kind of along for the ride, unless you also have an upgrade kit or something. Because yeah, I don't know if you're necessarily going to need to do this, but maybe there's somebody out there that would like to know. I don't have a good enough screwdriver up here right now. Should I just go get that screwdriver downstairs? This is kind of annoying. Nah, I guess we'll just send it. Okay, so I'm trying to keep track of the screws. These are long screws, geez. Okay, a long screw. Oh yeah, there's kind of a heat cert in there already. Okay, long screw. Another long screw. I think this just pops off. Oh no, there's two more screws in the front here. Just trying to take the LCD off first, I guess. Don't really have a plan of attack. I'm just kind of disassembling everything. I think these are all the same size screws so far. You guys are probably cringing at the stupid tiny screwdriver. But you know what? I was building a computer, so shut up. Okay, so now I think this whole deal can just kind of slide out. I think this is screwed in from the other side. Oh yeah, this whole thing is kind of... Damn it, you know what? I do actually need to go... Look at these giant cables. I do need to go get my screwdriver, my iFixit screwdriver, because I don't have screwdrivers that can open those socket screws. So I'll be right back. Sorry, that's annoying. Okay, I'm back, but I think my headphones stopped working. Okay, no, they're back. Just to put this whole thing on hard mode to make it even more difficult and to probably lessen the chances of me finishing, I have this cool beer. This is local brewery called Alvarium. They're from New Britain and Connecticut. This is like my favorite beer on the planet right now. It's really good. It's called Sucker Punched. It's a sour. It's like strawberry and lemon flavored. It's really good. So I'm gonna drink that while I do this. Hooray! Okay. So I need some kind of a hex or a. This kind of sounds like freaking. I'm getting Radiohead vibes from this song. This is just stream beats. Oh, I see where the heat certs go. I'm assuming it matches the old, how the old case worked. Okay, so step 2 is get the old screen out. Okay, so then this whole piece comes out, and then this gets just like thrown aside. So this is my old case. They're very similar, with the exception of the LCD case. I mean, the only difference that I can see is the new one does not have screw holes in the sides. So this is the old one, has these screws in the side. And I'm guessing that Bonzo is going to tell me that the new case also doesn't have. Oh yeah, okay. So on the old, the new case does not have the heat certs here, so it just kind of clips in place. There's more clips on the newer one. So it should be easier to, here's the clips. The old one didn't have those. So, pretty cool. So we'll get there. We'll have to install some heat certs into that. I guess let's continue taking things apart. I'm not going to undo these yet because I'm not sure yet about the orientation of the cable, and I just don't want to mess that up. So, let's undo those. The top screws here, so that we can get the old thingamajig out of the way. These new screws or these old screws are long. The newer ones that come in this kit here are a little shorter. I'm excited about next week because next week is something called the Big E, or the Eastern States Exposition. It's a big fair in Massachusetts that all of like the New England states kind of are, welcome to attend. It's sort of like, I wouldn't say centrally located, but I guess it's kind of centrally located because Massachusetts is sort of in the middle of New England. But what's cool, it's a huge fair. First of all, they have several giant like warehouse-sized buildings. There's even there's horse buildings and things. They just have all sorts of fairy things. Long screws on the bottom, short screws everywhere else. Okay, on the new case, you mean? But what's cool about the Big E is they have these. I think they're supposed to be replicas of the state's Capitol building or something. But they're just called the state buildings, and there's one for each state in New England, I believe, or like at least most of them. Oh, I kind of remember that there was there's a spacer on the inside of this PCB. You'll see what I'm saying in a minute. So I hope that I can get this out without too much effort. Okay, it's working. Steven Run. I just built one of these recently. It's awesome. Yeah, nice. So these are all long screws. Maybe you only sent me long screws the first time, but it's good to know. So I'll have to keep that in mind when I come back. Uh-oh. This is not unscrewing. Well. Sometimes if you kind of apply upward pressure, you can get it to unscrew. There we go. All right, so. I mean, the bottom, basically they're screwing into, well, we can't get there yet. They're screwing into a really long standoff in the middle here, so I don't know if it really matters the length. All right, so now we need to unscrew. I think we just unscrew from the bottom, right? I hope this is not going to be a giant nightmare. Oh god, a spacer just fell apart. Well, I was afraid of that. I hope I don't lose any of the spacers inside here. I don't know if this is how I should have uninstalled it. Maybe I should... I guess I should put the short screws in here, huh, Bonzo, as I'm taking this part apart, so I won't have to mess with spacers later. Okay, I'm going to do that. So the new case... It's hard to describe if you haven't seen the inside guts of this before, but if you see in here, there's actually a brass spacer. You can kind of see it there. So there's a brass spacer, but there's a brass spacer between both of the boards for every screw here. And so actually I just unscrewed both ends of these two screws here, so I lost those spacers. The spacers are inside of here now, so they're still here because I didn't unscrew these screws yet. So these screws and these screws are still here, which means that these spacers are still here in the right spot. And how the new case is designed, the part with the writing, the part with the consoles, this doesn't screw in at all. It just snaps in place on top here. So what I think I need to do is we have to replace the screws that screwed on top of the old enclosure. They just go underneath now with the shorter version. So let's get those. Oh, I had to remove the top first. Okay, well, never mind. It sounds like we have to do... I guess we need to take this off anyways. Okay, let's think. This just comes apart, right? Because these just have a long... I don't remember how this goes together. Oh, yeah. If I just kind of wiggle it. There's a big series of pin headers in here. I think it just kind of comes apart. This stuff just rattling around in it now. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay, there are those two. So when you inevitably kind of like rip that apart, you just got to make sure that the pins. So this is what I was talking about. There's two giant rows of pin headers here. This is what connects the top board to the bottom board. Just kind of make sure that your pins are unbent after you inevitably bend them when you take it apart, if you have to take yours apart. Mine look fine-ish. We'll just have to be careful. So, yeah, okay. So I think what we want to do is just kind of, I think we just need to get the bottom board. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. Should we get the bottom board into the new enclosure? That would probably be... I guess we should look ahead now and see what we need to do. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the wiki. I didn't put a link to this in here, but you just can Google. It's in the Sanni cart reader GitHub, and then at the top is a button that says Wiki. I'm assuming you said yes to put the board into the new enclosure, the bottom board in the new enclosure. So the wiki has a section about the automatic voltage selection on the sidebar here. Has some info about what the automatic voltage selection is. And yeah. So it has some info about assembling it, which we don't have to worry about because we got it from Bonzo. And it only applies if you have revision 4. Or no, I guess revision 4 was the first one that had the V-select on the PCB. Okay, so let's go to, how do we solder it? I'm just kind of reading this here. How do we install this? Component locations. There isn't really installation or instructions to how to install it. I know that Bonzo sent me a photo, but I wish there was a photo here. And it also sounds I need to update the Arduino. Okay, so let me see if I can. Bonzo, are you available to talk on Discord? I can pipe you in here. Maybe that might be easier. I'll try to gather all my things here. I don't know where the other. I seem to have lost a spacer. I only have one spacer there. Spacer got away from me. That's right. All right. I'm going to see if I need to add... I think I might need to do some programming before I even install the V-select. So let me just... All right, let's figure it out. How do we do this here? Oof, I don't know how... Actually, how's Bonzo going to hear me? Okay, let's see. Let's call Bonzo. Start a voice call. Let's mute the music for a minute. Can you hear me? Yeah. You're hearing me through my garbage headset. So it's gonna be kind of okay. Okay, so I need to, okay, so I've got the audio from the call going, desktop audio. I got to make sure that that's on. Okay, so where do I start? I think it told me that I had to flash the Arduino, which is in the bottom board. Oh, you son of a...
Yeah, but first let's get the V-select board installed.
Okay, good.
So remove the bottom board from your old enclosure.
I think I'm having a camera
use the pic that I sent you to install it. I posted a link in the YouTube chat, but I don't think that actually has the instructions on there. I don't remember where they are.
Okay.
Oh, it's I think it's on the on this page here. It's in it's on the wiki page. There you go. It's under soldering, but there's so many instructions in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get to there. So you told me to take the old board out. I think you guys can hear him. He might be loud, but that's all right. Okay, so I'll take this whole thing out. I think I might have lost a standoff, but it is what it is. That's fine. We don't need every single one. So I'm just going to try to unscrew them from the top. The stream is probably going to be like 30 seconds behind for you from like what I'm talking about is gonna be behind, which is fine. Just YouTube sucks.
We can make do.
Yep.
When you take out that bottom board, I think it's the Arduino port that you kind of want to like lift the opposite side up first and then pull that out because the port sticks out a little bit.
What the heck? Oh, that's just in there. That's just in there. Okay. All right, I'm like halfway done unscrewing these bastard screws. Okay, so it's my understanding that the newer kits have these are Arduinos, right? But not like an Arduino. It's some kind of other kind. The newer ones have USB-C. Seems like.
Yeah, I include USB-C ones with my kits now.
Okay, that's good. Just
when you got yours, they didn't exist.
Oh, where are my screwdriver bits? Way over there, apparently. Okay, so I've got 5 so far, 6. I guess I only have 6 standoffs. And there are 7 screw holes, so I lost the screw. Maybe it's actually...
Yeah, the kit that you got was before I started even selling them. It was just like when I was ordering them for myself. And I was like, well, all right, I gotta order a bunch of stuff, so does anybody else want some?
Okay, so I'm gonna just assume... Do I need to keep track of the colors of these? I guess I kind of do, huh? These need to go back the same way, the short cables.
Oh, you don't got to keep track of the colors. They're directional,
okay.
So you can really only plug them one way. That makes sense.
Cool.
But you just got to make sure you plug them in. Like don't cross them. You'll see. When you go to put it together, I'll help you.
Okay. How many of these have you done now so far? Like a lot?
Well, I stopped selling them assembled because they just take so long to put together.
Sure. Yep.
But I don't know, 30?
Nice. Okay, so now this should just be able to come out, right? The whole bottom board. Okay, cool. Okay. So I guess we're just going to go down to bare essentials. And to keep myself from going crazy, I'm just going to kind of put all of the old bits together. I think there's only 3 parts. This is one I got from Kaitor, actually himself. He printed that and sent it to me. But it's an older version of the case. So, all right, so let's put that aside. Yeet. Okay, so now we kind of want to just update things and install the board before we worry about the case, I guess. I don't know where that 7th spacer went. It just, see you later. Oh no, I have 7. I have 7 now. What the heck? Okay, I guess don't know. All right, so the pic, you sent me a pic, right? Of the installation. Is there a better guide? Under this.
I think the latest link I dropped in the chat under the soldering section. I think that's where the instructions are
On the wiki.
But yeah, exactly, on the wiki. But no, I should probably post that pic up there.
You have access to this GitHub?
I don't know if I have special access or if anybody can do it, but I think when you I've made updates to stuff before and it just publishes like automatically. I'm like, okay.
Neat. Okay, so I don't see a soldering section. All right, I'm gonna try your picture based off of your picture, but it's sort of hard. All right. First things first is to desolder the old thing, correct? Desolder the old switch. The
desolder the old switch and clip off the LED.
The clock thing.
if you look in the instructions, I know it does say like, warning, do not use a voltage switch at the same time, and then there's
Sure.
another one that says do not use the resistor and the LED. Like you don't
Up
install
here.
them. But if you just remove one of them, then the circuit's disconnected, so you're
I
good.
don't know if you can see. Are you talking about this up here, the resistor and the LED up there? But
Behind the cables.
the V select goes here anyways, right? So this needs to go no matter what, even if
Yeah, you remove the voltage switch
yeah.
and you
Okay.
put it there.
Okay, so let's get rid of that. So if you're doing this yourself, you just kind of don't install that, I suppose. Well, I hope this isn't clogged. Sounds like it's clogged, but that's all right. Well, actually, you know what? I have noise canceling headphones. Maybe that's making it sound weird. Okay, let's see. Did that do it? Did that do it? Oh, that is very hot. Okay, don't put your fingers on that if you use a desoldering iron. Okay, we're good. Okay, switch aside. Yeet. Actually, I may
You could also clip off the resistor. It doesn't matter.
have ripped a pad. That's right. Actually, what did I do? I don't know. Seems fine. What is that? Okay, let's. Okay, so you're saying just desolder. You could also just desolder the LED and the resistor, right? Part will be.
You don't need either, but you can if you just remove one, then you're good.
Don't need either.
Yeah, if
I see.
if you
You
buy a
don't.
kit from
Yes,
me,
I get it.
I don't even include them.
Got it. There's something in here. All right, let me. Oh, I turned it off. No, I didn't. Let me clean my. Don't forget to clean your tube thing out. Whoa, that's a lot of solder. Don't forget to clean your tools. I probably should replace the filter too, but meh. This is what I was talking about, tube. The thing that goes in there. All right, so then I'll probably, let's see, does that fix it? Not 100%, but that's right. All right, will this come out now? Bye-bye, resistor. Ooh, hot. Let's see. Okay. Okay, see you later, resistor. Okay, so I can just leave the LED then. That's what you're saying? Just disable
Yep.
that? Okay. All right, so it seems like I probably need to get or move the clock generator out of the way because we're going to have to solder underneath there. And also, I guess, the Arduino.
No, I think if you just did you install the clock gen with the pin header?
Yeah.
I
I
think if
just
you
meant
just
like
pull it
take it
out.
out. Yeah, I just meant take it off. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
And then same thing with the Arduino. And I see what you mean, I guess, by, oh, I forgot that it's soldered to the underneath, right? Somewhere. Okay. Yeah, we soldered 5-volt USB Okay, cool. So that's your purple wire. That makes sense now.
Yeah, I posted a link to the picture I sent you in the chat, so if
Okay.
anybody wants to...
All right, so step one for actually
Yeah.
putting this in here, did you use a pin header or you just solder through?
Yeah, I didn't use a pin header. I just plopped it on and soldered it.
But you could. Okay, I'm gonna do that, because why not? I have a little 3-pin header thing just right here, so. All right, so I'm just gonna take a normal, hopefully it's the right pitch. And it's not. Great. Never mind, I'm not gonna use a pin header. Unfortunately the spacing of the switch is not the same as and also it wouldn't be the same on the thing here too. Well, that's annoying. Okay, fine. But because of that, you kind of have to be careful of shorting things and stuff. I guess somehow I cut a trace. The ground pad here. I'm just gonna make sure that's not gonna. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Cool. All right, so now I guess what I should do is, man, how do you do that? Just you solder through there, and then that's good enough. Jeez. Is there anything on the bottom here? I guess not. All right, so we're gonna just try to line it up as best we can. I guess to make this even easier, I should use my could use my scope just to make sure I'm looking at the right pins. Let me turn my overhead.
I'm assuming you're talking, but I can't hear you anymore.
No, I was just kind of hyper focusing on this. Can you hear me still? Can you hear me? I mean. Oh no! Why can't he hear me? That's weird.
I used like the ends off of the resistors, like some leads. I just shoved them through the holes and bent them to help with the alignment, and then I clipped them off after.
Can you hear me? Well, I think you guys can hear me still, right? Chat? Okay, good. I think Bonzo, we lost Bonzo.
Okay.
I don't know if it's me or if it's, oh, maybe my headphone, maybe they have a mute button? Something? I'm gonna turn them off and turn them back on again. Oh, did my headphones die? Man, this really is kind of hard mode, huh? Can you hear me? Hello? Well, I understand what to do, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. And
Well, I could hear you for a second, but I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, god damn it! Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? That's weird. Okay, well, oh god, and the camera stopped working again. This is just a terrible stream. Terrible,
hear you
terrible
now.
stream. Oh, hi. Nice. I think maybe you had the wrong audio input or something. Can you hear me again?
I don't think so. I didn't change anything, but you're good now.
Okay, cool. Well, your voice sounds worse, so I think you did change something. So leave it on worse video or audio, whatever. Okay, I think we're back. My camera died.
Weird.
This is an awful.
I've just been watching a stream.
Echo. Oh, echo. Okay, fine. I think. All right, we're good. God. All right. Okay. So Bonzo had a good idea. Just use pin headers. I really don't think that you. I don't think that you want to just raw dog. I don't think that you want to raw dog this board on here. So you really do want to use something. So I'm going to use some resistor leads that I've had. So I highly recommend if you're doing any sort of mods with like long, I don't know, resistors or capacitors or something, you really want to hang on to a few of those leads. However, getting them lined up is going to be kind of a pickle. Actually, you know what? I have a board holder. Let's do that. Let's use this little board holder. Maybe that will make my life a little easier here. Okay. Am I still on YouTube? Yeah, you're on YouTube. I like to, I don't know why, but I kind of pride myself in learning like new slang words and like incorporating them. It's really just memes. I like memes, so I stay up to date on memes. All right, so I guess how am I gonna do this? I guess if I had a little tweezers, I could hold it with one hand. I haven't even gotten to the programming. It's already 10 o'clock. Okay, that's fine. So I think what I want to do is kind of grab the component leg with the tweezers, right? So that's in this hand. I swear there's a component lead in there. Yep. Then with the other hand, you can't really see it, but I'm getting a bunch of solder on my iron. And then I'm going to do from the bottom, just kind of solder through. You can always touch it up after. Okay, so that's one. Okay. So let me get two more. It's sort of the same thing, so we're getting some solder. Okay, once we have the V-Select board on there, we can clean up all this stuff. So right now, just the challenge is getting everything just kind of on there. All right, last one. Solder. Nope, don't hold it. Use the tweezer. Okay, I think that's fine. And I also don't think that we want to, well, like I said, we can always touch it up. I definitely think that this left thing is bridged to this ground, and I don't think they can be, but we'll fix that up after. So now that we have that, I'm going to try to get our V-Select board kind of in place here. And I guess that could just go down as low as it can go. I know it's hard to show you guys because it's sort of all over the place, but this is floating a little bit. Like there's a little bit of a gap, which I think you kind of want a little bit of a gap. So, but from here on, you can kind of just do one of those, and now we have a good, you know, it's a little more stable. And we could solder these pins here. Cool. Okay, so that's the top. The top three look good. Now I'm going to, without ruining this other piece here, the Arduino, I'm going to try to touch the bottom up here. Okay. I'm just going to clean up that one pin. Like that. Okay. Oh gosh. Well, the pin is still there. That's fine. Somehow I think I pushed it in. That's right. Okay, cool. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. What we should do is just test continuity, make sure I think those are 3 separate traces, plus the grounds are separate. So just make sure that I didn't bridge anything together. So I think these grounds are wow, interesting. They're not grounded together. Okay, well the grounds are separate. It's interesting that it's not. I guess those are probably just restrainer relief on that switch, but whatever. But I want to make sure that I didn't bridge any of these pins together. Cool. Looks like I didn't. Cool. Now I can cut this one short. That one short. And then on the top, I guess they're good. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Oh God. Are we still good? Yeah. Cool. Hope I didn't ruin it. Okay, cool. So that is the getting the V-Select board in. Now let's go. The next step is the wires, the 2 wires. The Bonzo gave me the instructions. I guess they're going. One's going to a ground, and one's going to. He wrote it in chat. Jumper 1 to D38. Oh no, it's crooked, isn't it? The V-Select board is a little bit crooked, but that's right. YOLO. All right, so let me get my, what gauge wire did I use here? 26 gauge. Let's get some wire, some 26 gauge wire. You know, I could probably turn on the music again. So you guys are just hearing my inner monologue out loud. Hello, wire. Oh, there it is. Found it. Cool. All right, let's get a ground wire. And it looks like, let's just solder them both on here right now. So there's only 2 wires to install this. On these 2, so we have on the left there's a pad that says JP2, and on the right it says JP1. So let's tin both of those. Oh, my iron is on a low. Okay, turn it back up to 350. All right, let's get some wire strippage going. So you said jumper 2 is ground. So jumper 2 is the further one. Cool. So that's going to go over here. Actually, I don't know if I cut this long enough. Whoops. Gosh darn it. I think you soldered to the farther one here because the... let me see. Where does the Arduino... The Arduino has a hole in it for the other screw here. So like when the Arduino is on here, this hole is where the other standoff goes, right in there. So it's really, we don't need this second screw hole here. So that's why I'm gonna solder to that outside one. Can I use this or just say, forget it? Forget it. All right, let's move that to the shorter one. Okay, good enough. So let's get another longer piece.
I can't hear you anymore, but I'm assuming you can hear me.
Yep.
You should be able to. You should be able to solder to that screw. The case doesn't use that standoff.
This one, right? Can you hear? Oh, he lost me again. This stream is so scuffed. Okay, so I'm gonna solder to this screw post out there. This is the most scuffed stream. Okay, so JP2 is ground. Yep. Cool. All right, so that's JP2.
Either one. Sorry, the delay is super long.
Oh, really? That one too? Interesting. Okay, don't matter. Okay, so now this other one is going to go to... where's the Arduino? Oh, here it is. Should I program the Arduino? Here, I'm going to just type to him. Whoops. I don't know what is happening. Why can't... Oh, wait, it changed now. Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, this headset sucks. Oh, I can't hear you now. I see that you're talking, but I don't hear anything. Actually, let me see. Where's the output coming from? Oh, the headphones. Yeah, that's right. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back the right way. Okay, and then he said to solder to D38, which where the hell is D38? Up here? Okay, so it's up here. Okay, so I think this is D38 right here. Okay. And then gonna the most scuffed stream. Actually, I'm not sure if this is the most scuffed stream, but okay, I think D38 is this one here. Oh gosh. Let me get some more solder on this situation. Bad joint. Okay, cool. Not amazing, but yeah, I think we're good. That's D38. Let me just double check with my eyeballs. 38, yep. Cool. Yeah, because that was 36. Okay. All right, cool. I think that's it. We're just vibing. All right, now I guess we could put this back so I don't forget it later. But I think we also can flash the Arduino. I think that's what's next. Okay, so let's see if we can find on the see what we can find on the Webernets on the wiki. I think we need the oh, hey, wee thing. Okay, so let me scroll up a little bit. Okay, so it sounds like there is some kind of a tool. So, Bonzo showed me this site, oscr.tools/update, I guess. we can update through this. So I think what we can do is I can turn this around so that my USB port is facing the computer, and then just plug it in. See what Bonzo wrote. Yep, use the OSCR tools to update. Okay, so I think we also need a file to copy over on the SD card too, but oh, I need to plug in the display. Okay, let's I guess we can try the new. Well, let's just use the old. Oh God, I think I might have forgotten which way they go. I think what you're saying is you can't plug in. The cables have to stay side by side. You can't crisscross them. So I think what we need to do. So I'm gonna use the old cables because they're long for now, and then I'm gonna switch to the shorter cables when we get going. So, all right. So I've got the display hooked up. Let's plug in. I guess I probably do. I need my SD card plugged in. I don't know. I plugged the SD card in too. So now I'm just gonna plug in my Arduino. SD card's not needed. Okay. Connect to OSCR. Okay, I see SPP1. Is that it? Does that go away if I disconnect? Nope, that doesn't go away. Okay. So maybe. Do I need to turn it on? I might need to turn it on, right? Okay, yeah, I turned it on. Does it say anything? Well, I just had the normal OSCR thing. Oh, cool. Wait, we have USB serial now. Okay. We can call you. Well, just Bonzo for now, because he's helping me with this thing. You're coding a 3D game from scratch. What engine are you using? Are you using an engine? Are you coding the engine from scratch? Okay, so we're connected now. I guess I have to do what? Update? Oh, that went away. Jeez. Okay, connect. We're connected. Is there like an update button or something? If you don't see, okay, get the driver. I don't see. Now what do I do? The heck? Oh, my firmware is too old to use the updater. Okay, let's see. Update, manual update. Okay, so that involves what? I have to disconnect the you're coding the engine. That's cool. Dang. So what language are you using? C? I guess I'll have to unplug this. Using ray casting, that's interesting. I think there's a few. I've seen a few. I haven't followed them or anything, but I think there's a few tutorials that people have been going around for using ray casting. That's not the same as ray tracing. Ray casting is like what they use to make Doom, right? I think. We need YouTube clips. Yeah. Doom's lurk, yeah, probably. Okay, so what do I need to do? Disconnect the Arduino. Is there like a button I need to hold down maybe? Okay, goodbye voltage thingy for a second. Okay, I'm gonna guess that I probably need to hold on a button there, maybe? We'll have to see. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back to the installation, or the wiki, and I need to find the section about updating the firmware. Oh, how to flash the Arduino. You're remaking Duke Nukem 3D. Ah, interesting. The newer firmware versions have enable updater feature, but I think it's commented out by default. Okay, so it's possible that maybe I can just change on my SD card then? I'll go through the firmware again. Let's see. Okay, so we need the release, the latest release. I need the Arduino IDE, right? Arduino IDE. I need the latest release in the releases tab. Okay. So let's download this. Not the portable one. Oh, it's only portable? Okay, fine. I guess I have to use this portable installer. That's pretty cool wee thing. Way back before I started my career, I have a computer science degree, and I wanted to be a game developer. So I've tried making 2D. Not making my own 2D engine. Well, kind of making my own 2D engine. There was this this library for C or C++ that it was the graphics, like sprite-based graphics, but you still had to do all the rest of the game engine stuff, like creating objects and deleting them in memory management, all the other things. So like it's a very, very, you know, very basic library that just let you display things. And I kind of like messed around with writing an engine, but it's hard, especially when you get into C++. It's like you have to manage the memory and things. I don't do any of that with my day job. I use C# and .NET. Curious what language you're using though. Okay, so I have to extract this. Check your Discord DMs. Oh God, did you make some cringe photo? Okay, all right, I get it. I'll have to make a square version of that. That'll be a new emote. That is awesome. Thanks, thanks Belmont. Here's what Belmont made. Beautiful. Oh, you guys can see it already. Beautiful Belmont photo here. It doesn't get any bigger. Oh well. I'll have to Photoshop that later and make it square. Okay. All right, we're in the portable thing. Portable. Oh, it's a bat file? Oh, Arduino IDE. Will this... If I launch this, will this load the... Oh, Jesus. Maybe I have to close the Arduino that I have already. This application was configured to use a bundled Java runtime environment, but the runtime is missing or corrupted. Using Java, okay, I use Java in my my master's degree program a little bit, so I'm familiar with Java a little bit. It's kind of similar to .NET and C#. Well, I kind of did hard mode because there were other like Unity and other game engines, like 3D game engines existed, but nowadays there's so many options for 2D stuff and 3D, I guess. There's just a lot more options now, a lot more guides to tutorials and things. So I kind of gave up, but I'm lost, guys. I can't. There's a batch file. Let's see, read me. Install the drivers by running setup.exe in the driver folder. Okay, so I need this driver. Where's the driver folder? Ain't no driver folder. Oh, there's a driver folder. Okay. Is it this one? What did it say? I completely disregarded it. The CH341 driver. I don't see CH341. The hell? Open the Arduino portable version in the release. It doesn't open. Do I have drivers from before? Yeah, this is a new PC, so I don't have the drivers. So maybe I have to install. There's some kind of a driver thing here. Wow, this is the challenge. The final boss of this stream is just the friggin' drivers. I probably needed to have done this before I installed the vSelect, I bet, huh? I bet you vSelect is messing with me right now. Maybe not, though. God. Okay, we're working on it here. Oh, see, it says install these drivers, but where are these drivers from? This is so terrible. Okay, let's go back. Let's right click, run as administrator. Let's see what that does. Hey, it worked. Okay, run as administrator is all I needed to do. Great. Okay, I see a this sketch. All right, let's see. Did I open the wrong one? Arduino.exe. That's what I loaded. Okay. Okay, file sketchbook cart reader. Okay, file sketchbook cart reader. Okay, so that opens a new sketch. So let's close this other sketch. You tried an Arduino, failed miserably. Yeah, it's easier to program on a PC or a Mac or whatever. Do you use what IDE do you use? Do you use the JetBrains or whatever, or do you use Visual Studio? Or no, you can't. I don't think Visual Studio Code has a Java plugin. Pi is easier to tinker with, yeah. Okay, then we go to the config file. Oh god, there's so many tabs that open. Config.h. Okay, choose hardware version. So I have hardware 5, right? Define enable vselect. Define enable clock gen, right? Because I have the clock generator. I don't have the real-time clock, so I have to leave that commented. Do I have to just do all of these? Can I enable all of these cores? You tried programming Java in the Arduino IDE? What IDE do you use for Java? Oh, you're programming ESP32. Not enough room on the Arduino. Okay, so what do I have? Do I have to leave out some? So I just do the, there are so many freaking things here. This is such an intense, I mean, it's not that intense, but like, you have to get through a lot of barriers to get this actually working. Okay, well, I'm just gonna start, yeah, I see Razor Edge wrote you might run out of memory if you enable all of them. Leave all the default systems. Okay, I see. And vselect. Okay, I didn't notice that some of them were default. What do you mean default, though? I don't know what default is. Is there a section of not default ones? Oh, I see. Some consoles are already enabled by default. Okay, I got it. That makes sense. I'm really just messing with that top section there. You guys might be hearing a do because I have my other computer on. I don't know why I don't turn this off when I stream. Config is toward the bottom. Okay. There's more config at the bottom. Okay. Oh, here we are. Config, processing. Define enable config. Is this it? Config file. Allow changing some configuration values via a config file. You generally can only use the config to set options to disable certain features. Okay, so I need to turn on enable config. All right, is there anything else I need to turn on here? We'll get to that later. Okay. Okay, just send it then. Sorry, Bonzo, it sucks that, oh, maybe you can hear me. Yeah, I think you can hear. Okay, send it. Send it. Verify just checks how much memory I believe the Arduino has. Or like it sees if this can compile and then it'll tell you if it's gonna, you can hear me. Okay, good. So what are we doing here? We're making a mess, we think. No, I'm updating my open source cart reader. I have a video, if you want to watch the beginning of the video, or the video about my initial soldering of this thing, but it's a cart reader that lets you dump save game files and ROM files from real cartridges, and there's it does a ton. Lets you use a bunch of different types of consoles. So you can see there's NES, Famicom, Super Famicom, and SNES, N64, Sega Genesis, Master System, and then there's a Game Boy slot in the front. So it lets you dump save games and ROMs from any of those different types of carts. Okay, so let's upload instead. I hit the wrong button. Wait, what is it uploading to? I didn't plug it in. Okay, well, that was funny. Also dumb. Okay, so I have to actually plug the Arduino in. Okay. I think I actually do need it still plugged in, right? Onto the board, I mean. I guess I should say. Or maybe not. The 5 volts is connected, so maybe I do want it disconnected from the board. So if I turn it on, it should get power. Nope, that's a lie. Okay, let's plug it back in here. Okay, we good. Let's plug it in. Turn it on. Doop. All right, so now let's see. At Mega, I guess, did it already select it? Didn't select the port yet. So COM9 is the port, I believe. All right, so let's send it. Upload. Upload. Copy error, yeah, because I didn't plug it in. I just sent it. Did it work? Uploading. Oh, writing. It's writing. Doing something. This is such an incoherent mess that no one's going to be able to follow this. If you find out that the green text is hard to read on the LCD, you can change the values on... Oh, okay. That's interesting. It's fine. I see that some people might not like it, but I think it was fine. White text probably would be a good idea. Yeah. Okay, so now it's verifying. So it wrote. Now it verified. Okay, sweet. AVR dude is done. It's doing something. Okay, cool. So now what? Should I see? I need the updated thing though, right? Let's see. Let's turn this off. I need the updated, there's a file, a config file or something. So I'm gonna plug my SD card into the computer. I need an updated config or something. So, Bonzo, okay, Bonzo wants me to test if the updater works, the website. Okay, so where is that updater? Here we go. All right, let's turn on the thing again. Connect, paired, connect. Reading data. Ooh, okay, sweet. So it caught the latest firmware. So you want me to run the master, this firmware? This master branch firmware? Oh, look at that. We can change some things. Automatic voltage selection. 3.3 volt stability fix. Do I need this fix? I don't have a real-time clock, so. Okay, so this update utility makes all the other crap that I just did do nothing. Leave the fix off, okay. All right, let's just see if it updates. Go. This is way easier than having to use, not that Arduino IDE is hard, it's just, yeah. This is a lot less things to install. Installing virus.exe. Just kidding. It's doing something. It's thinking. It's flashing the firmware. You trying to keep up? Yeah, really all I was doing there is just trying to install the latest firmware on an Arduino. And usually different projects might have different ways of installing their firmware or the software onto an Arduino. This particular project has a lot of config files. There's a lot of things involved with installing and updating the firmware onto the Arduino. And apparently there's this tool here that makes it way easier. So you don't really have to do any of the config, but I had a firmware that was so old that didn't let me use this firmware. All right, so it sounds like it worked. Flashing complete. Neat. SD error. Oh, okay, that makes sense because it's not in there. Installing virus.exe. Yeah. Okay, so now I need... Did I enable the updater? Got it. Okay, cool. So it works. So now I need... I got to scroll up because Bonzo said that there is some kind of a new file. Grab the latest SD card files from the repo. Okay, so let me go back to the GitHub. And then there's an SD folder on the root of the thing. So let's go to download I didn't download the firmware at all, did I? Maybe I did. Nope, I didn't. So we need to download the whole GitHub repo. Then we're gonna extract it. Try a Game Boy game. Oh, and reassemble it. God damn it, I forgot I have to reassemble the whole thing. Hopefully that won't take that long. Excuse me. All right, so now that we have the repo extracted, we'll go to the SD folder. I guess all this, right? So let's highlight everything. I'm gonna guess that it just goes right into the root. This is some of my old files here. Okay, so I'm gonna just plug this right into the root. Sure. He forgot. Yeah. I don't see any other text files. It did have me replace them, but it didn't show any of them, so I don't know what that was about. But we copy and pasted them. Here. Cool. All right, so that's the SD. Now we plug that in. I'm just going to make sure that it works now, again. But this will have the latest version. Oh, the instructions previously told you to make them hidden, but that's not necessary. Okay, got it. That's why they were hidden before. Okay, so let's go to overhead. So let's try to turn this thing on. We should be able to get, some things. Okay, so this is all the new stuff. Let's see about. That's the latest firmware, I guess, 14.5. Cool. So that's just proving that things work. Now, I think we can try an N64 game. Should we try an N64 game? Because that's a 3-volt system. Now that we have, how about Smash Brothers? Oh, it's not freaking together. Okay, we got to put it back together. Shoot. All right, turn that off. All right, let's try to put this thing back together with a couple of minutes. Game Boy 3-volt. Well, I don't have any. Oh, I see. That's why you said for me to try Game Boy. All right, we can try Game Boy. Got it. Game Boy Advance. Got it. I gotta specifically use a Game Boy Advance game. Okay. So we could try a Game Boy Advance game, I guess. Do I have a Game Boy Advance game? That is a question. What do I have here? Oh, I have the XXX game. Let's download rip XXX. I'm not even sure if this works. This cartridge works. Okay, let's plug this in. That way, if we don't finish the case installation, we can always just... Okay, Game Boy. Gotta find Game Boy. Wait, is Game Boy Advance in the Game Boy folder? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, Game Boy Advance. So let's see. Game Boy Advance. So I clicked into. Let's go back up. Oops, it reset the whole thing. So I went to Game Boy. Click in. Then Game Boy Advance. Press button to ignore or power cycle to try again. Cartridge error. Well, I think that maybe this game might be toast. Not toast, but I probably need to clean the pins. Well, I have Zelda 4 Swords. I might have another game too, but let's just try it. Hey, Altheracious. Let's reset. Game Boy Advance. Cartridge error, okay. Don't know if that bodes good or bad. Oh, this cartridge is a piece of garbage too. Do I have another game here? Oh, Golden Sun. Let's see, does Golden Sun work? I probably need to clean these pins, the pins on this slot. Okay, let's try it. Game Boy Advance. Oh, searching database. Hey, it works. So I guess this is a problem with those other cartridges. Virtual Console. Let's read the ROM. Oh, is this going to take a long time? Might. Okay, well, this is going. Oh, God, it is going to take a long time. Okay, what happens if I reset? Reset! Well, we're locked in. We're locked in now. All right, so I'm gonna prepare the case for reassembly. So let's get the bottom one. We need to do the bottom one first, right? So this is the bottom shell. Unfortunately, well, oh, did it finish? I didn't even see if it finished. Whoops. Oh, I could put the heat sets in. That's a good idea. I think it finished. So I don't see, the screen went back to the stock, this screen, so either it blew up or, yeah. Oh yeah, we have to solder the N64 port. I forgot about that. Okay, so let's undo these cables. Actually, I'm going to put the new ones in. I'm going to try to preserve the color directions. So I got the new short guys in here. Okay. Alright, so there's no heat certs in this part, right? Not these here. The only heat certs I think there are here. Down at the bottom. Right, those two? Or are there there? No, I don't think they are. Okay. Yeah, let's just do the heat certs while we're here. I know this is probably not the greatest way to do this, but so they're little tiny heat certs actually. 2 on the bottom, 4 where it screws in. Where it screws in where? Let's see. Oh, you mean this where the screen screws in? Got it. The display here. Got it. I see. I'm gonna use a smaller iron tip. I have this cone tip that came with my Asian soldering iron, so I'm gonna use that. All right, so let's get these heat certs out of the way, and then we need to figure out the N64 situation too. Okay, so I'm just gonna these are it doesn't really matter which way they go on. I'm just gonna do this. Gosh. And then just send it. Nice. Zoom in a little bit here so you can see. Cool. There's one. Just be careful not to hold on to the heat cert because you'll burn yourself. Okay. It's a pretty good fit, surprisingly, for these heat certs. Sometimes heat certs are a little sus. Okay, so now we need the 4 heat certs for the back panel, or back the display, I mean, sorry. I don't have a fancy heat cert set thing. Oops. Heat cert press. That's what I was trying to think of. Dang it. Oh, yeah, very hot. Gotta be careful. Don't. As soon as you put a heat cert on once and it falls or drops or whatever, just let it fall because it's hot. Okay. Two. Okay. Three. Last one. Nice. Cool. Drop it like it's hot. Yeah, drop it because it's hot. That's a new Snoop Dogg song. Drop it because it's hot. Because it's hot. It's actually hot. Don't touch it. Okay, so now we can take the SD card out. We can screw the new case, the screen back into the case while we're here. It goes this way. So the knob part goes into the round hole thing here. Okay. And we can use, I guess we use the short screws. We use the short screws here, I think, Bonzo. Oh, see, I also need to use little, I think you need to use little, I have these washers that I used, so. Okay. Oh. Just using these washers because the screws are not big enough to hold this thing. I don't know if those are included with the kit or not. I just had them already. Gosh, it's kind of annoying to do. Okay, Bonzo, if you're here, I need help. I think the last thing I need help with is the N64 controller. I forgot where that is supposed to get soldered to. I can always look it up in the manual, but gosh, the only annoying part about these screws is they're not magnetic. You know what? Forget it. I'm not doing those right now. I'm gonna freak out. Maybe it helps if I just kind of do this. Oh, annoying. I think I might have also gotten frustrated with this part too in my video. All right, you know what? Forget it. I'm not doing it. I don't care. All right, I got to figure out where the N64 thing goes. Oh, gotta put the clock gen back in. Clock generator. Okay. Let me just check. Checking the thing here. Where's the N64 thing go? Oh, hey, look, I have a video tutorial here on GitHub. See if we can find where the N64 controller goes. Oh, here it is. Is that underneath? Where is that? That's at the bottom. Yep. Wait, is it the bottom? Oh, it's at the bottom of the top board. Yep. Okay. Got it. So it's on the bottom of the top board. Okay, so let me. So this is gonna go to the bottom board. Goes in here like this. Eventually, we're gonna put the spacers in. It looks like a car stereo. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, car audio stuff is annoying. How do you? This thing is like stuck. Oh, I see. It's gotta get put in an angle. Okay, good. I think maybe I can start putting the spacers back in. Let's just do that. So these go in from the bottom. I can always do I'll do the N64 thing after. Yeah, because I don't think we're blocked at all from putting this N64 part in. But we do need to put these screws in and these spacers. So this part is kind of annoying too. Oh God, it's not even connected. Man, I'll be glad to be done with this. It's kind of annoying, but it's cool. It's good. It's a good project, but it's just kind of has its annoying parts. Okay, so Bonzo was telling me it doesn't really matter because Kaitor's case, this thing that I was talking about before, it doesn't really matter because Kaitor's case doesn't have a screw hole for it anyways, either way, so. Oh gosh. Big malfunction with my microphone. I need like a second like backup microphone so that Bonzo can hear me if I ever need, or guests can hear me if I ever need to pipe them audio, because I really don't have anything that they can hear me on. I keep having to fiddle with the setting. I have to turn it off and back on again, and then I think you can hear me. It's fine. I think I understand now where to go here. I just got frustrated with that the top part with the display, because the screws aren't magnetic. Just grab with some pliers. Yeah. You hold them with tweezers and screw them in. Okay. Guess I'll have to tweeze it. Hashtag just tweeze it. It is nice, yeah. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see what Bonzo's writing. Bonzo said that the case that he printed is nice. Just so you are aware. Plier it. Just plier it. Just tweeze it, just plier it. Oh, sorry. Bonzo is put it in the chat. I'll put it in the description too. Since Kaitor did design the case, we should give a shout out to Kaitor. Does he sell it? It looks like he sells the case also on his store. But do you also sell it, Bonzo? So if you want to support Kaitor, I'll put the link for his case in the description after this video is over. But yes, if you buy a kit through Bonzo, you can also buy this same case. So but yeah, it depends on if you want to support Kaitor, which I recommend. I'll put a link in the description for that. I think because I'm using the microphone of this headset to talk with you, it's like causing the audio to be worse. I did not realize that was a thing that it did. Like, the music audio quality is worse because I'm using the microphone also, so that's pretty garbage. I need to get a little just external thingamajig. Oh, so you also, you'll save shipping if you get it with Bonzo. So just, but yeah. I think that we would both Bonzo and I would appreciate if you bought it from Kaitor, because he is the creator. I guess is what we're trying to say. But if you're in a pinch, yeah, you can get both together. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, sorry. This is a really old kit. So a new kit will not have USB micro. So yeah. Is the case high quality? Yeah, I mean they're printed on a Bamboo Labs printer using the AMS, so the 2-filament color thing. So really high quality, and I think Kaitor will probably ship it that way too, but I'm not positive. All right, so now that we've got the base in, let's install. I'm almost done for the night, but let's install the N64 port. So we kind of shove that. This gets shoved in here. There's like retention clips, so you kind of have to just full send. Oh, the difference between Kaitor's print and mine is he doesn't do the side labels in a different color. Oh, okay, I see. So that also is a factor. I don't think Kaitor does the multicolor. Oh no! We got a rippage. We got a split here, but that's all right. I mean, it's just cosmetic. But that happens just, if the tolerances, if like it could happen for a lot of different reasons. I've had this case for a while too, so never know. Yeah, but we gotta split there. But that's right. All right, so we have this part. So now it needs to find its way to here on the bottom of the top shell. So that would be like, let's see, how do I want to do this? Does it make sense to kind of route it underneath or not really? Oh, I guess it kind of does, huh? Let's see, how can I get this over there? Because then it also needs to go between them. Okay, I'm just trying to think out how I'm going to do this here. Hot glue, super glue time. All the glues. Yeah, how am I going to get this over there? Didn't really think about that because it has to go. How are you ever supposed to get this cable over there? Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. It doesn't go all the way over. It just goes here. So it doesn't go through. I thought it went in here for some reason. It just goes to here. So let's do this. You just need to do like this. Like that. Something like that. So what I need to do is let's cut this off. Oh, route it through the same hole as the display cables? Why not in this other hole? Oh, I can. The problem is that as soon as you get rid of the strain relief on this N64 cable, this white wire is already busted. Like, so this is what's gonna happen. I'm like super oversimplifying it, but I literally just ripped that off. So, oh, I see. So you're supposed to, Bonzo was just saying that you make sure you either route it through one of these two holes, just not over the top, is what he was saying. Well, I just busted those for probably no good reason. But, yeah, and now I don't remember which way they go. Which wire was where. Red on top. Was it red, white, black? Okay, so I need some new wires. Let me get some new wires. I know I just kind of made a point and like ripped those off on purpose, but yeah, it's fine. What did you bust? Okay, so the white's in the middle, the black is on top. So from the perspective of the case, the flat part of the N64 controller goes this direction like that. So that would mean red wire bottom, white wire middle, black wire on the top. I could go back and look at the video, but I trust Bonzo. All right, so now I need my cables. Let's get some cables here. So thankfully I have all three of those colors. Actually, no, I don't have white, but I can use yellow for that. This should be the last thing, I hope, because it's just driving me crazy. Oh, the screen thing. Well, once I get the N64 thing soldered, I think I'm gonna call it a night because I'm getting there. Pull the metal posts out before you solder them. Pull them out? I was just gonna... Can I just put an N64 controller in here? Otherwise the plastic melts. Okay, well, Bonzo's telling me that this part you'll still have to do on the kit. So if you're watching this, you'll have to do this as well. So he's just saying to yoink them out. Oh, they come out pretty easily. So take them all out. Okay, take them all out. I put this aside. Oh, he's saying you make sure to press them very firmly. Okay, so now, let's see, what do we have here? Where's my tweezer? Tweezers! Oh, this is not gonna work. That was my old, that was that old tip. Okay. I trust you, thing. Oh, so there are, Bonzo's also mentioning that there are other systems that are supported other than the systems that have labels. There are actually other systems that are supported, but you need little adapter things, so that's what Bonzo's talking about. How is this supposed to even work? Oh, they are scooped out, huh? Sorry, I'm just trying to get the solder out of these pins. Are they just... Wait, they're just flat. They're not even... Sometimes pins have like a little solder well where you can solder the wires to, but this just straight up doesn't. Okay, well. Let's solder a pin. Oh no, your links aren't showing in the chat, Bonzo. I guess they're disabled. Sorry about that. Bonzo's been trying to post links. Yeah, just put the links in this thing, and then tomorrow I'll put them in the description. Oh gosh. Okay, so this is very... Once this pin thing gets very hot, I guess it's hard to sort of solder this in here. Okay. I think I did one. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with... Oh gosh, this is annoying. I might just give up, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think I'll do this in another video. Maybe I'll talk about it to the next stream, because this is kind of annoying. Okay, I'm giving up right now. I'm going to do all the rest of this off stream. I wish that I had more patience, but I really don't. It's kind of my fault that I ripped those off, but if you're careful, you can use the wire that came with the extension cable for the N64 plug. I was not careful. Well, I kind of did it on purpose, right? I was just showing you that they're very fragile. So I guess I do recommend soldering new wires onto these pins, right? And then you can go to the GitHub, and there is a picture that shows you that they need to be soldered down here on the bottom side of the top board. Failure is just another form of success. Pretty much, yeah, I agree. So I guess I'll just briefly cover the last remaining steps, right? So after you solder the wires to the pins, you shove them back into the controller thing here. Bonzo's saying you have to use a lot of force, right? So you really want to get them as far in there as possible. Then that goes back in here. Then the other parts of those wires, obviously they sneak through one of these two divots, and they get soldered to the underside of the top board. Then after that is done, you have to reconnect the top board. Make sure that, like I said, make sure that your pins aren't bent on the top here. They line up with these long pin headers here, and you kind of just plop it in. Make sure you don't pinch any wires or anything. Then, if you have the new style shell like I've got, you just put the rest of the short screws in the top for everywhere that has one. So there's only 7, so like 3 on this side, I think, and 4 on that side. You screw those screws in first. So whereas before they get screwed in on top of the case, then the case goes in there, or the top case just snaps over it. Okay. Then last piece is the display. There are a bunch of clips, so it does kind of clip in, but then there's 2 screws that go in the underside of it. So, and then you have to put the knob back, obviously. But I'm giving up for tonight. I mean, I'll finish it and I'll show it off next stream. But then there's also a cover. This is just a dust cover, so this kind of goes over the top of the slots when you're not using them. There's also a Game Boy slot cover, so this I can put on actually because we're already finished with that part. This part just protects the Game Boy slot there. So cool. All right. Oh, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. If you want to buy an OSCR, no, there's a link in the description already for that, Bonzo. So I have links to these kits. Again, it's an affiliate link, so that it supports me. If you want to do that, there's a affiliate link in the description for that. I'm going to include a link for Kaitor's shop, where he sells these cases. I guess because he's the original designer of the fully enclosed case. I guess some caveats there. Kaitor doesn't sell them in 2 colors like Bonzo does, and obviously you'll have to pay separately for shipping. But you are supporting the original design, the designer of the shell for the card reader. He's not the original designer of the open source card reader. He's just the shell designer. But all right, yeah. Please use my link so I get money. Yeah, whatever. It's up to you. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Bonzo for being here and helping me, even though it was kind of very scuffed. We're gonna be back on. Are we going to be back on Wednesday? I guess we're going to be back on Wednesday. I don't know what we're going to be doing. I'm not sure if the replacement motherboard is going to show up. But there's a lot of cool projects coming soon, right? So I think Loopy has this new. I've ordered a bunch of things. I do have some new computer stuff. I don't know if people really care right now about that, but I've been retro computering. Or at least buying retro computer stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna solder the pins off stream. Yeah, I'm almost there. I just am not in a state where I can easily solder those pins and not get frustrated. Plus, I have to do the other screws on the top the screen here. The Loopy DS capture kit thing. It hasn't shipped yet, but it's coming soon. So there's a USB Type-C solder version of Loopy's DS, not 3DS, because I've already done the new 3DS XL Loopy kit, but there's one that is going to be for the original DS. So I've ordered an original DS, so that should be coming in the mail. Loopy hasn't shipped the DS capture kits yet, but he should within probably actually toward the end of the month. So maybe you might not see those until the next month. But that's a new kit. I think Voltar is going to be, I hope he's going to be releasing his Edge Enhancer. I'm going to wait and do his kit first, the Edge Enhancer kits. I do know that there's a couple of other projects floating around. I'm just curious about those other kits. I don't mean any offense by wanting to use the other kits that are available, the Edge Enhancer type mods, but I want to support Voltar, so I'll be doing his. Then, like I said, I have the HID-Man, HID-Man retro. It's the like USB mouse and keyboard to PS2 and serial mouse and keyboard adapter thing. That'll be a PCBWay sponsor stream. And then there's whenever the GameCube controller board comes in from 8-Bit Do, I'm excited about that. So lots of stuff recently. Old computer stuff, yeah, retro computer stuff. He just mentioned old computer stuff, I thought. Yeah. What kind of old computer stuff? Well, I have a few different. I guess I'm currently interested in making a Windows 98, so like not super DOS, but like Windows 98 gaming rig. I do have a Pentium computer. That is what I probably I want to get more use out of that, but it's only a Pentium 1 and not a Pentium, not a faster computer. So like it's not good for Quake, like the original Quake. It's not fast enough for the original Quake. So I honestly, this system probably isn't fast enough for the original Quake. It definitely isn't fast enough for the original system, but original Quake. But I've been gathering some interesting parts, and old motherboards and things. So I bought this rare. A kind of rare. It's an Asus P5A motherboard, but it's a Super Socket 7 motherboard. And what's interesting about that is it takes Pentium MMX CPUs all the way to the AMD K6 multiplied CPUs, I believe. So this is supposed to be like the fastest Pentium MMX motherboard and K6 motherboard. One of the fastest, one of the most stable, I guess I should say. But what makes it Super Socket 7 is it has an AGP slot. So it is useful for AGP graphics cards. So like the Voodoo 3 3000 is an AGP graphics card. So I don't know. That's expensive motherboard, or expensive graphics card, I should say. But the bummer is, Pentium MMX. I watched a Phil's Computer Lab video about it. It's kind of interesting because you can actually slow it down a lot. So it is a good system if you want to play older DOS games, because you can slow it down enough where it can mimic basically like a 386 or a 486. So you can use this Pentium, which is like, it had the nickname 586 actually. So it's the CPU generation 1 after 486 if you've ever heard of that. But you can slow it down by disabling the cache and stuff to mimic those older CPUs. So it does have a really good compatibility with DOS, older DOS stuff. But it doesn't have enough horsepower for the newer, like Quake games and stuff, like Tomb Raider and stuff. I think so. I'm kind of thinking about how to get probably like a Pentium 3 system. I'd run a Pentium 3 system and like some kind of a newer-ish video card so that I can have like a good Quake and like that, like 1999 kind of 2000s era sort of. Still Windows 98 because Windows XP didn't release until 2001 or something, 2001 or 2. So I guess it would have been Windows 2000 or Windows 98 still. I just need a Liam Lee case. So what's interesting is I have a newer Liam Lee case, but I actually ordered a not Liam Lee. Let's see, what is it? Let me see if I can pull it up before and I don't want to dox myself, but I've probably done that before. Don't look too hard at for my personal info. I ordered an Inwin case. So it's an Inwin A500 case. I spent a lot of money on this case. I should not have done that, but it looks kind of cool, I think. Here it is. So it's kind of a nothing burger case, and it doesn't need to be cleaned a lot, but it actually is a Pentium 2/3 era case. So it's like 98, I think, Windows or 1998. It doesn't have any cool case badge, but it is an Inwin brand. If you've ever heard of Inwin, they're like a semi high-end ish case manufacturer. So I ordered this. I think it's nothing special, but it is a solid looking case. It doesn't look bent or anything. It's really hard to get retro, and it's ATX, it's not AT. It's hard to find like good condition cases. So I think this is a pretty cool case. I didn't know that Lee & Lead made cases this old. I have an aluminum. Oh, I brought it downstairs. I have an aluminum one. It's a P7, PC7, P7 Plus. Actually, there was one for sale on eBay here recently too. Will it show up? I don't know. Anyways, I do have I wanted to recreate my. Well, I don't know if I want to recreate exactly my Core 2 Duo setup, because I had an Athlon. So my first computer that my dad bought was a Pentium system. So I went from a Pentium system, or Pentium. Actually, it was a Pentium Pro, which is it had the instruction set, the same instruction set as the Pentium 2, but it was a little slower. So it was a 200 megahertz Pentium, which is actually kind of crazy. It wasn't an MMX though; it was like kind of before that. Anyway, so I went from a Pentium to an Athlon. I don't remember which Athlon it was, but I had an Athlon processor. And then later on, like towards the end of my high school, somebody rear-ended me at a stop sign, and instead of, maybe I shouldn't mention this, it wasn't really insurance fraud because he paid me out of pocket, but he rear-ended me, and then I got a quote to fix my car. Maybe this is kind of scumbag, but I used the money that he gave me to fix my car to buy a computer. So I bought a Core 2 Duo. Core 2 Quads weren't out yet, but I bought a Core 2 Duo and that Lee & Lee case. It's an aluminum Lee & Lee case, and an NVIDIA GTX 8800 GTS 320 megabyte version. That's what I had for quite a long time. Then later on, I upgraded the graphics card and stuff. Anyways, that's kind of like my. So I want to recreate that. Well, I probably wouldn't get a Core 2 Duo. I'd probably put a Core 2 Quad. I have a Core 2 Quad. So I have a quad-core Core 2 processor, and I want to get I don't know what kind of graphics card I want to put in there, but I want to have like a 2007, 2008 build too. So I don't know. You have an older Lee & Lee case. What? Bonzo, hook me up. You found it on the side of the road for free. Dude, anytime you see any old PC, Bonzo, if you're still listening to me, if you find any old PC, seriously, just pick it up, because, well, not any old one, but I'm saying, like, if it looks like it's an older than like 2000, or like around 2000, and it looks like it's kind of like a generic PC case, and it has motherboard components in it, it might be worth, at least the case is, not gonna lie, if the case is in really good condition and it's like either AT or ATX, you can make $100 pretty easily plus shipping on if it's in good condition. So even if you got everything else in it, the cases that people, it's a big case. Yeah, so I know, unfortunately the case sizes are pretty big, but there's a nice neighborhood nearby and people swarm it with bulk trash. Oh my God, that's funny. So anyways, I'm just saying that's kind of a life hack is well, you're doing kind of two. I know it seems kind of inconvenient because you do have to go through the process of taking pictures and uploading it to eBay or whatever, but I think that it's kind of a cool service to help out these old PCs to make sure they don't go. For the longest time, I was like, unfortunately, some of my family's computers, my family's old computers, they're in the e-waste now. Like, we got rid of them, and I'm kicking myself now because I really would like to have that old, my old, historic PCs from my family, but I don't. I only have the part number, the part, So before, I used to recommend people recycle them. I mean, obviously, if you don't care about retro computing or whatever, obviously recycle it instead of just like throw it in the garbage. But I kind of have a really deep nostalgia for old PCs, as long as they're not like cookie cutter Dell systems or something. It's metal, nice case, in good shape. Okay, sweet. Yeah, let me know. I appreciate it, and keep an eye out for cases too, because it sucks so hard to be like, oh, I want to build a retro PC, but the case is I have to spend $200 to buy and ship a case to my house. Like, it sucks. E-waste is such a waste. Yeah, well, I bet you that they probably get tax incentives for doing it. So, like, your local town probably gets, if you have a recycling center or like a place that you go and drop off TVs and stuff, they probably do get a tax incentive for doing that. So it's kind of twofold, right? You're obviously not putting electronics in the landfill. Actually, I don't even know. Hopefully they don't go into a landfill, and hopefully they don't go to a third world country where they just get, like, some kid's not going to cut their feet off with them or whatever. I hope they're actually taken care of, but you never know nowadays. And that's not a political thing. I just literally don't know, and I don't know if it's not a well-known sort of thing. But not everybody's interested in retro stuff. I'm only interested in it because it's a hobby and stuff's expensive. So like I would rather get something that's used or local or cheaper than having to spend all this money for stuff. So I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know. Yeah, I spent like $180 on that case. Like $80 shipping is brutal. You had an 8800 GTS. Yeah, it was pretty good. I actually played World of Warcraft a lot on that system. But then shortly, I did upgrade to AMD. I still have the 5770 1 gig, I believe. It still works, but that's a little newer. That's from like 2011 or something, 2010 or 2011. So it's not really era appropriate. I looked at the 8800 GTX or the 8800 Ultra, which is the highest. Those are the highest graphics cards that they made in 2007 or 8 or something. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really need to be from that era, but like the quad core processor that I have is from 2009, I think. So like anywhere from like 2007 to 2008 or 2009, I want to like get a really high-end graphics card from that era so that I have something to play. Because that would have been like Halo 3, Unreal, Crysis was a big game then. Like that was the original Crysis era. Plus the caps in the case were dead. I got a lead case for $20. The problem with the plastic connecting the front panel is broken. Oh yeah, someone put up a 3D print. Oh, that's good. Nice, that's good. Now it's all snug fit. Nice. All right, I went way overboard with talking at the end here, but I'm always interested. If you guys have anything you want to suggest to me, especially retro PC stuff, I'm really interested in that. I know that there's not a huge crossover between retro consoles and retro PC stuff. It's kind of like one or the other, but I want to mingle that more because I do feel like there's a lot of fun that people can have. You don't even really need to build a custom setup because I was looking at for that. I think I would want to get for like an ultimate budget Windows 98 system is what I want to build next. And I think that you could probably get away with like a Dell, because Dell made XPS systems from that generation, and they have Pentium 3s in them. So like a Pentium 3 is probably the highest, well, the best like of that era, Windows 98, right before Windows 2000 and right before Windows XP. Windows 98 system is probably a Pentium 3. So I want to get a really good Pentium 3 system in Windows 98 so that I can do like Quake, original Quake. I guess probably Half-Life was from that. The original Half-Life might be from that era, maybe a little later. But like I want to get a system that will play those original games really well and a graphics card, but like all that stuff is expensive. I looked into Tualatine, is that how you pronounce it? But that's like a 1.4 gigahertz Pentium 3 chip that goes in like, what is it, socket 370 or something. Those are crazy. Like finding motherboards for those it's like you spend $200 just on that. So I don't know. I don't really want to go that crazy. I just want to do like a budget build. But anyway, so like if you get a Dell XPS from that era, you could spend maybe a couple $100, but you might have everything already, right? So the Pentium 3 is in there. You could probably get a high gigahertz, high megahertz, I suppose. It's not gigahertz yet. High megahertz Pentium 3. It probably already has a sound card in it, and it probably has some kind of a graphics card in it, and the power supply, and it's in a case. So like looking at pre-built Dell systems, yeah, see ya, Bonzo. Looking at pre-built Dell systems is probably a really good, I don't know. It was a thought. That's what I might do, but I'm already kind of deep in here, so. All right, goodbye, everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday with something new.